Hi there, it's Babs from Yarn People, and today I am experimenting a little bit with a new style of video. I'm hoping to try a new weekly vlog to give some information about some of the work that goes into actually producing Yarn People and bringing it from my heart out to the world. Yarn People, for those of you who don't know, is a digital magazine at the moment, but things will be changing on that in the new year, so there'll be an update coming shortly. But enough of that, we can't talk about that quite yet in a big old vlog. And then I'll be talking about the whips and the projects that I actually make, because I seem to make a vast amount of the projects that come out with each issue of Yarn People. Some of the processes behind the scenes in terms of sending out updates asking for patterns to be submitted, choosing the patterns, looking at testing and layout and all of that stuff that goes into actually creating something that I feel is quite a beautiful product at the end of the day. Not only do we feature designers who are not traditionally seen in mainstream magazines, and this is something that we're hoping to change, and I would love to not actually be able to say that at the beginning of the video. I would love to not have to say that BIPOC designers are not seen in mainstream media. I would much rather everybody was represented, and then I'd just be a knitting magazine, and that would be fabulous, as against a knitting magazine that's trying to make a difference and trying to showcase work that otherwise is being ignored or overlooked, and that is not for want of skills and talent, because there is just an amazing array of skills and talent out there. It's just not being seen, and there are a whole host of reasons why that may or may not be happening. I don't want to get into that just in this particular video. I'm sure I will touch on it in future updates and vlogs, because I can't help but rant about certain things. But in this introductory video, I just thought I would give a little overview of what Yarn People is, if this is the first time you've seen one of these videos. So in this episode, I suppose you would call it, if we're now going into vlogs, this would be episode 1, which seems very scary and intimidating, because that means I have to do a 2 and the 3 and so on and so forth and actually keep it up. So I'm going to be talking about the work that I'm casting on this week. I've just got some yummy scrummy new yarn. It feels kind of strange because I've got new lighting, which means that I'm actually being lit from 3 directions at the same time, which means you can actually see me, which is something that you don't normally see in my videos. The lighting is not brilliant. It's just what happens to be there, natural light, and that's what we go with. But this time around, I've actually got multiple bits of light, so you can actually see me. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know, but we'll see. Send me some comments, give me some feedback, let me know, and we can take it from there. So I'm going to talk about what I'm actually casting on this week. It is for Mum. Mum, if you're watching this, you have to stop now. You're not allowed to carry on watching this one. You can watch some future ones, but not right now, because you'll get a spoiler for Christmas. And I am making you something, and I'm going to share with people what it is, because it is a sample knit or a test knit for one of the patterns for issue 5. So I say knit, it's a crochet. But regardless, Mum, stop watching, turn off. I'll give an update on what I've been doing on Yarn People this week, and then at the end I'll give you an idea of some of the other bits and pieces of information that I might be sharing in these videos. Let me know in comments if I start talking too quickly. I do have a tendency, when I get nervous and anxious, to start talking really, really fast, and I have heard videos of myself, family videos, not for YouTube, where I can barely understand what I'm saying, because I'm literally just I have no idea. As I get more anxious, the speed increases. So let me know in the comments if this is causing a problem, or if I'm getting the timing right. Just give me some feedback and let me know. So this week I have gone out and purchased some gorgeous yarn from West Yorkshire Spinners. It's Chunky Roving Retreat. Oh, let's try with the purple. That might be easier to see than the cream. There we go. So Chunky Roving Retreat. It's just beautiful. It's 100% wool. It's blue-faced Kerry Hill. It's reared and spun in Britain. That's part of its branding and its USP from West Yorkshire Spinners. I'll put a link to them down below. This is not sponsored. This is just what I happen to be working with this week, and it is just gorgeous. It's squishy. It doesn't smell weird. You know how sometimes you buy yarn and it just smells a bit odd, but this is just gorgeous. So I cannot wait. I'm going to be crocheting with it, and when I bought it, the lovely lady in the shop in Bobbins, I'll put a link to them as well if there is such a thing. I'm not sure whether they've got a website link, but if not, I'll put a link to something in there, in the comments, no, in the description. I'll put a link into them. And she was saying, because this is 100% wool, just in case I haven't worked with it before, if I make a mistake and need to unpick, I need to tink back, I need to unknit, then I need to do that straight away. She was telling me that she'd crocheted a hat using this, and she'd left it 45 minutes and it had really locked into place, and she actually had to cut off a portion of the hat that she was making because she just could not unravel it. It really interlocked heavily. Because this is 100% wool, you will find that it will bind, it will want to stay friends forever with the rest of its stitches. So that's just something to keep in mind, and I thought that was really generous of her to give me that tip and feedback. It's similar to working with mohair. If you make a mistake in mohair, well, just don't make a mistake when you're working with mohair, because trying to undo it is just, it can be absolutely horrendous, in which case you have to cut it and start again, and yeah, that's not much fun. So I am very much looking forward to this. I love the names that West Yorkshire Spinners have come up for their yarns in this particular retreat range. This one is Pure, which kind of makes sense. It's cream, it's lovely, it's really simple. And Purple, this is Calm, and I need more calm in my life. Now, the original pattern was knit up in this colour, and then the designer, she then went on to make it in the colour that I chose, and when I said that I'd be making my own samples, she got very excited and wanted to see what colourway I'd be using, and yeah, I've picked the same colourway. I thought my mum would choose something different. I thought she'd choose a teal or a blue, but she decided to opt for the purple because the purple looks so gorgeous in the sample that she's made. And again, I'll put a link to the designer, but not the pattern yet. She has done a sneaky peek of a portion of this particular pattern on her Instagram, so you can go and check her out. That will be quite fun, I think, to go and have a look. And yeah, I'm kind of gutted that I'm making it in the same colour, but seeing as how it's actually for my mum and it is supposed to be as a present, I can't really make her have a different colour, just because then that will be useful for my business or useful for my Instagram feed. But I suspect I will be making another one for myself, so that probably will be in a teal or a blue, and I really like it. So I'm hoping that this might go smoothly, and then I can add that into the other collection of cardigans and sweaters that I've made this year in 2019. This will be the 6th cardigan or sweater that I've made this year so far. It's only November. I've still got time to cram in another couple if I wanted to. So we'll see. I might be able to get another one in for myself. I don't know. And I have a question for you, actually. If you could let me know. I do make, as I say, a significant number of the items from each issue of Yarn People myself as part of the testing process, just so that I can understand how it holds together, are the instructions clear, all that kind of stuff. I mean, we work with tech editors anyway, but I do like to work, and I like to be making things all the time, whether I'm designing myself or whether I'm working from someone else's pattern. And I was just curious as to whether you'd be interested in me showing you the pieces that I've made, and would you want me to make one of everything that is in Yarn People? Now that is a big ask, because that's a big commitment on my behalf, so I'm aware that what I'm asking is going to have potentially a big impact on what I do. But if I know that people are interested in seeing me showcasing an example of each item, and sharing how I've got on with it and how I've found making it or working with that particular yarn, then let me know, and I'll make that effort, and I'll put that in place for people, if that's what you're interested in. I don't particularly want to go, you know, a million miles overboard if nobody cares. If nobody's that interested, you'd rather just see the photos and then take a peek. That's up to you. But let me know. And talking about things that I've been doing for Yarn People this week, I've actually picked the patterns today, or yesterday, the patterns that are going into issue 6 and 7. So that was very exciting. There's some gorgeous things coming up, but that will be in January and March, because we're moving from quarterly to every other month. So the publication schedule is going to be changing, and the pricing is going to be changing in the new year. So there's a lot of changes coming in January. So once we've got this particular issue out of the way, issue 5, once that's done and dusted and published to the world, then I'll be doing some more updates and letting you know about the changes for next year, because we've now hit the end of our year. We're at our first birthday. I'll be doing a giveaway for the birthday, for the anniversary. So watch out on Instagram for that, and I'll probably do a little video announcement as well. So that will be hopefully that will be fun for people, and they'll like some of the goodies that we're giving away. And also, we're beginning our testing in earnest for issue 5 next week. So there'll be a lot of announcements coming out. If you subscribe to Yarn Pond, which is where we do our testing, then you should see our test patterns coming up in your feed. If you don't subscribe, then you should. It's free. If you want to be a tester, it's absolutely free. And I'll put links below to... And if they're not in the video comments, then I'll put them in the show notes on the website, so that all the links and everything will be in place. So you can sign up to our testing pool, and then you will be given options of knitting patterns and crochet patterns that you can actually get your hands on and test. And then you get a discount off of the digital magazine if you want to purchase that. You get the pattern for free. Once we have the finalised version of that, then you get that pattern for free as a thank you for taking part in the test. Other stuff that we're going to be talking about going forward, as I say, any testing calls, any changes such as our schedule from going from quarterly to every other month. And then there's another change that's coming out in the new year, which I will be talking about. It's very exciting. When each issue goes live, any shows that I'm planning on visiting, and what I experienced when I did visit shows. I suffer from anxiety. You may have noticed that I tend to always take either my husband or my mother with me whenever I go visit a show, just because it's just overwhelming. I love shows, I love talking to people, but I get seriously overwhelmed by stuff. So I tend not to go anywhere by myself. It's all very, very emotional. But it's well worth going, and it's well worth me making the effort to go out and see various events and actually see people face to face in the real world, as against just online. I find it much easier to talk to people online where there's nobody else here, so I'm just looking at an iPad or a camera and there's some lighting, but that's it. There's nobody else here, so I'm just whittering to myself. If other humans happen to watch this, then that's a bonus, but I don't actually have to interact and feel that anxiety. I looked at some stats for the website, not for the website, for the channel the other day, and it was a little bit scary because it's nearly 3 million views, and someone pointed out to me that means 3 million people have watched you and seen you and looked at you, and I was like, and just total panic ensued for a good half hour to an hour after that, and I had to have some breathing and calming, and I'm not going to look at stats again because they just freak me out. It's all very worrying. It's all very worrisome. So that's what I'm going to be looking at, talking to you about in future updates and future vlogs. I don't particularly want to be sitting here for hours and hours and hours on end, so I don't think you need to fear too much that these are going to be exceptionally long updates. But if I'm going out and visiting places, then I'll take a camera with me and we'll have a look and see what's there. I did visit quite a lot of shops this week, not just to go out and buy scrummy yarn, although that was a brilliant bonus that they actually had the yarn that I was looking for, which is fab, but I was also talking from a sort of sales perspective, and this allowed me to realise that sales is not my strong point. This is not my forte. I literally, the first shop, again, Mum came with me because I was just freaking out about this too much, and the first shop I went into, the staff were lovely. Nothing against the staff in this shop whatsoever. They were absolutely delightful. They were really friendly and bubbly and happy and laughing and really helping me to function as a human being. But I sort of stepped up to talk to somebody and then lost my voice completely. I just couldn't speak. I could not talk. It was awful. And this is where my anxiety kicks in. And again, the more important something is to me, the more I shut down, the less I can function, the less I can actually look like a working human being, and that's just one of the ways that my anxiety presents. And so I'm standing there and I'm about to talk to her, and I think I actually feel sick. My stomach is churning, and I'm about to talk to you about something that's really important to me. I'm just trying to introduce myself and say that been working on this magazine, I work with yarn, I love yarn, this is all fabulous. I can talk about this stuff for hours online, even doing live streams, no problem whatsoever. But actually put me face to face with a human being and I just fall apart completely, which is awful. So if anyone's got any tips for that, you know, that face to face thing, that would be brilliant. Pop them in comments, let me know, send me a DM. I'm willing to take hints and tips to help me cover that and get over that any way that they come in. Yeah, those are fabulous and I would be very happy for those. And so yeah, and then I literally get this poke in the back after what felt like an eternity of me just standing there going, from mum, you have to speak, get on, you have to actually say words. And I think the first words out of my mouth were, I feel really nervous, I feel really ill. That's the way you go into a shop and try and sell your product, isn't it? By going in and saying, I feel really nervous and really ill. But you never see that on The Apprentice. Every time they go in to sell something, they focus, they know what they want, they know what they're about to do, they get on and do it. Or I'm like, I can't even speak. So that is something that I'm working through at the moment, visiting lots of shops. And once I've got past that first fear, that first step that is just filled with anxiety, then it's all going really well. I'm chatting to people, we're talking about yarn, we're picking stuff up and squishing it, we're talking about various things that I'm not going to mention just yet, but it's going really well and the feedback that I'm getting is fabulous, and the owners are so supportive. There's a whole load of independent shops supporting independent business owners, and it's brilliant. It's really heartening. It's wonderful to see that that's happening. So on Instagram you'll probably see a few bits and pieces that I'll be sharing around supporting independent businesses. They'll be popping up in my stories over the next few days. Because at the end of November there's a whole support your independent provider shops, buy your services from Etsy, buy your services online, don't buy from major chains, buy from individual business owners. So you'll be seeing quite a few posts around that hopefully coming up if I manage to plan all of that out properly, intermingled with lovely yarny goodness, because I believe that that's something that we should be doing. It doesn't necessarily mean we need to buy from our local independent supplier, but we can buy from an independent supplier anywhere. So you can buy your yarn from somewhere in the States, you can buy a pattern from someone who designs in Australia, and you can buy your blocking pins from somebody who creates beautiful blocking pins somewhere in Europe. It doesn't matter where it comes from, but I think it's far more important that you're supporting a small business owner. I think that's a big part of working with sustainable fabrics and the slow makes and the slow fashion and building your own wardrobe and creating and reusing and remaking and all of that. It's a part of supporting small businesses. It's, to me, part and parcel of that same ethic. So that's a little bit of a talk about some of the things that I've been thinking, some of the things that I've been working on, and let's see. Yes, I've mentioned that the testing begins next week, and as I say, if you have a look at the blog post, if all the information, I'll put a link to the blog post in the description below the video, because there's going to be a lot of links and YouTube doesn't like hundreds and hundreds of links. As far as I know, they're not affiliate links because I don't think I'm an affiliate for people. But if there is anything, if I spot anything that would be an affiliate style link, then I will definitely flag that so that people are aware of that before they start. Hopefully I will see you next week. Well, I'll definitely be recording a video next week and hopefully you'll be watching it next week, because I won't see you because that's not the way that video works on YouTube. Thank goodness, because that means I would have to see people and human beings, and we've hopefully just established that I can't do that very well. So let me know what you thought about this vlog. Try and be kind. If you don't like it, just say I didn't like it, and that's fine. But if you did like it, let me know what you did like. If I was talking too fast, let me know that. And if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing, because we have tutorials, we have reviews, and we now apparently have vlogs. So there's quite a lot of content going on here, and we have a whole host of sewing and embroidery and knitting and crochet content on this channel already. So I think there's something like over 200 videos on this channel. have a peek, see what you like, and let me know if you've got some particular content, or if there's something in particular that you'd like to have reviewed. And if you want to send me something to be reviewed, then that would be cool too. So yeah, use the comments, that's what they're there for, and I shall see you, well, we've established I won't see you, but I shall be back in a week's time. Until then, bye.